Hello, it's Leo, and you are listening to the 12-Man Podcast.
Good evening. Welcome to the 12 Man Podcast live on Facebook, on the Red, all the usual places you can hear your podcast and get all your podcasts from. Trying to extend that as much as I can. You've got me, Steve Jackson, now in the main chair. I'm actually in the studio for once, so you can see me. Hello. And there's only two of us tonight. Got Mr. John Donovan with me. Evening, John Don.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. So yeah, we're going to talk about the next five games because we've got a nice little block of five again. Well, not again because the first block was four, so forget that. Anyway, we'll move on. Good start. So the next block of five games, including the one in the middle, which is them up the road. We'll go through what everybody thinks points wise, how many points we should be aiming for, what we'll actually get. And then we'll preview Preston and we'll talk about everything that we've got going on as well. So before we start, I'll start with you. How are we doing, John? We all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I had a weekend away, drinking heavily yesterday and listening to music in the pouring rain. But it was good. I'm a little bit tired now, but I'll recover. I'm off work again tomorrow, so I'll recover tonight and have a long lie-in tomorrow. But yeah, I'm fine.
You should be used to all these long sessions on the drink after all the away days we do.
I know I should be, you're right, but yesterday just took its toll. It was. Normally you get a break with the football, don't you? But we didn't have the break while the bands were coming on and going off, and another one coming on. So yeah, it was a bit more excessive yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself anyway. That's what it's all about. I
I
spent a
did.
week. I spent a weekend with the missus, so yeah, had a nice chilled one, nice and easy one. So yeah,
Yeah,
been a, been
brilliant.
been a bit of a hectic couple of months, but yeah, I could bore you for an hour about that, so I'm not going to. So we'll move on. Um, First thing I want to talk about is it's quite a bit of a sad thing to start with, to be honest. Because we like to check in with each other on it, as we do, don't we? We like to say, make sure we're all okay, everybody's all right. I saw a story on Thursday. Thursday. Young lad at Skelton United, local team, um, 12 years old, took his own life because he was being bullied and didn't have anyone to talk to, which I find horrendous, especially in the football world. Because you'll say, John, the way we express ourselves as a fan group, we're always open, we're always welcome to anyone, and we'll talk to absolutely anybody that needs to have a chat, won't we?
Yeah, without doubt. I told you what I did yesterday, but yeah, yesterday is an example. I met loads of strangers, spoke to them, had a drink with them. You know, I'm not saying any of them were in the same situation as the lad you described, but just to speak to people helps you. It may help them, you don't know, but yeah, we're open to that, and I know it's something that you champion, quite regularly, and it's a tragic story. 12-year-old. It's just, I just can't imagine how his family and all and all the friends who used to play football. I cannot imagine what they're going through. It's
Horrendous.
so sad. Yeah.
It's absolutely horrendous. I thought it's well worth a mention because it's something that it is football related.
Mm.
I know Scotland did a lot of things at the weekend. They promoted a lot of numbers of people to talk to and little bits during the games. But yeah, don't don't keep quiet. That's the beauty of football. You can be stood next to someone you don't even know, and then 10 minutes later, I don't know, Riley McGree scores a world and you jumping on his back. That's just the way football is. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, keep talking, keep going. Yeah, horrible start.
No,
I'm
but
sorry.
no, it's okay. It's something that it's difficult to spot, isn't it? It can go unnoticed, and you don't know the personal turmoil that people are going through, and it's yeah, it's always good to, if you can, to speak, even if you just say hello to a stranger as you pass in the street. It might mean the world to them. Just try and do that.
Yeah. And if you want to come and talk to me the football, feel free to do so. If it's an away game, you probably will follow by Fanti Jägerbomb. And that's pretty normal for me, so don't feel like it's I think you're an alcoholic or anything. It's just me being friendly. But yeah, please do talk. If we're at the top of block 23 every home game. Come and have a chat with us if you really want to. So
yeah. Well, do you remember that powerful sort of action that Wolves fan did?
yes,
Was it Wolves fan? Yeah, and I think it's been done since. Where a fan stood blindfold and he had a placard, and people came and spoke to him, and a lot of people who did come sort of offloaded quite some serious issues, and it may have helped. It's good, but I mean, that was so powerful as a message, wasn't it?
oh, massive. And then the little advert that Norwich put out as well.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So that really hit home as well. You never know what someone's going through. So there you go. That's a good start for you. Right, let's crank it up a notch. Here we go. So we've had an international break. England play again tomorrow night against Finland. Played some minnows on Saturday in Ireland. Got the job done pretty easy, to be quite honest. Lots of old players have been out on international duty. Ben Doak and Tommy Conway came on last night against Portugal. Unfortunately, Ronaldo did his thing and scored a late winner. So, that's what he does. But both got minutes under the belts. Both fitted in perfectly. He's one of the players I'm looking forward to seeing, Ben Doak. But big run now. 5 games coming, John Don. 5 big games. Start with Preston, ending with Watford, with them up the road, West Brom and Stoke in the middle. Are these 5 games where the real test starts? Because these are proper Championship clubs we're now playing, aren't they?
Yeah, and like you said, some of them had made great starts. Some of them sit at the top of the league. West Brom and Watford also have had sort of better starts in regards points tally than we have. But it's a challenge that you need to meet. You need to be consistent in this league to get yourself up. Not many teams absolutely walk through this league comfortably and are by far the better team. Not many. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but what those teams that do go up, what they possess is a consistency of picking up points, even if the performances aren't particularly great. They just have a habit of picking up points and getting draws when they've not played particularly well or even sneaking wins, and that's what we've got to do. These 5 games now, obviously 15 points to play for. We should be looking to get 9 or 10 points if we want to remain up at the right end of the table, in my opinion. And I've asked the question via a Twitter message, an X message, whatever you want to call it. And some people are more optimistic than others. One lad put 13 points. I mean, if we got 13 points out of the next 5 games, that would be absolutely immense. And I think that would probably take us up to first or second position in the league if we could do that.
Yeah, it probably would. To be quite honest, it's 13 points. That's optimistic. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But fair play if he thinks we're going to get 13 points. I mean, I do think I saw one comment. Danny Kidd put we could get 15. I thought, well, I don't know what you do during the week, but that's incredible. 15 points between them 5 games. Fair enough if you think we're going to get them. But it's interesting to see how optimistic we are. I mean, compare us to last year. I keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it, to be honest. But this time last year, that optimism wasn't there, was it? We were struggling to find our first win. We were struggling to find our feet in the league. We didn't know what all these new players were fitting in, but it just shows 12 months is a long time in football. It's a long time anyway, but you know what I mean. And it's the optimism's back in the club. It doesn't matter that we've only got 7 points on the board so far, but the fact that people are still saying we're going to get double digits in our next 5 says everything for me.
Yeah, and that's because of the players who we brought into the club, in addition to what was already there. The fact that we managed to keep our better players despite attention from other clubs, and we've increased, in my opinion, the quality of the squad by purchases and also loan arrangements. So yeah, I'm optimistic. I remember one of the earlier podcasts this season, and I said I think we'd finish top 2. So yeah, I'm optimistic. And it's good to see other fans also. Now, up to now, our performances haven't warranted that optimism. But we're going to have to give new players time to settle in. We haven't seen anything yet from Micah Hamilton. Obviously, Ben Dokes we hadn't had a game since he said. Well, we did have a game. Obviously, yeah, we did have a game at Cardiff after he signed, but he wasn't present in that squad. So yeah, there's bound to be optimism, but you've also got to temper that with a bit of patience, because players are going to take a while to settle. And as long as we can be picking up points in matches while the players settle in, while they get used to the way we play football. And another thing we've got to, we have to learn to cut out stupid mistakes by gifting teams goals. But we just have to pick up points until everything starts to fall into place. So the next 5 games, they're not crucial to the season, but I think they'll give us a good indication of where we will be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because it's that point where, I'm one of them fans. A lot of fans are with me when they say 10 games in, that's when you start looking and thinking, right, where are we? What's behind us? What's in front of us? Where are we going to start going from here? And that just about gives us the 10-game mark. And obviously it's 9 games, but, it's that point there. Second international break, you think, right, I need to start looking at what's in front of us now and what we've got coming and where we are in the league, kind of thing. I think there's plenty to improve on. You're absolutely right. I say the mistakes have really got to cut out. But I'll look on the other side as well. The amount of chances we're creating, it's hard to not see where we're going to hit a team. It could be a good team. I mean, look what we did at Sunderland last year. With minimum experience behind us, and we hit them for 4. We could do exactly the same again in a couple of weeks. You never know. There's going to be a team we're going to hit 4, 5, 6 past. And I really do believe that. We always say every season we'll give them a good item, we'll give them a good item. I feel like this season we could give a couple of teams a real good slap, and it really will kick us into another gear, because them chances we're creating, that when we're having 20, 25 shots on goal, all of a sudden we're going to start putting the ball in the net. Stoke did it to us the other week. They came and had 5 shots on target, all 5 went in. We'll do it to us on the side one week. I'm absolutely certain it'll be soon.
Yeah. I hope you're right. But what Stoke did was they didn't take the time over getting the perfect angle for the shot. They just saw the opportunity and they fired him in. And that's what I think sometimes we need to do. Just the extra touch, the extra pass, try and eliminate that and get the shot off early. If it's goal bound and it doesn't go in, the keeper might push it out to another of our advanced players. So just let's not be too perfect. Let's try and hit the target as quickly as we can.
Well, that's it for me. I know people are saying I don't want to have a shoot on range kind of persona, but if the opportunity is there for me, I'm exactly the same as you. If you have it, doesn't matter if it's a 2-degree angle. It doesn't matter. If there's some sort of angle towards goal, have a go. You never know what's going to happen, especially with the modern football these days where it moves around. Just hit the microphone.
Like your mic.
I know. People can see that as well. And, the ball moving around and, the keepers don't know what's going on, things like that. I think there's more doubt in the keeper's head these days about what's going to happen, what's going to come towards him. And for me, shoot on range. If you've really got the chance, go for it.
Well, see, the second goal at Cardiff's a prime example, isn't it? That wasn't on target. That was going to miss. But he had the shot. He had it early, and it was deflected in. A deflected goal is still a goal. It doesn't matter. So yeah, let's get the shots in early. Let's make that dominance of that statistic our XG. Let's make it turn into proper goals.
Yeah, I'll stick with XG. I can't say the other word. My list gets in the way, so I can't say that word. But no, you're absolutely right. I just fully believe one team is going to feel the full force of all our shots going in at some point. It'll be one of them games where you only have 7 shots on goal and five will hit the target and go in. It'll be one of those games. But we've heard from other people. They've said double digits. Well, how many points do you think we'll get these next 5 games?
I'm going to go for 9. I've had to think about it. I think I'd accept 9. I'd take 9. I think we'll beat Preston Saturday. I think we'll beat Stoke when they're at our place, and I think the other 3 games we'll get draws in, or get 3 points from somehow across those games. 1 win, 2 defeats, whatever. But yeah, I'd be quite happy if we took 9. Because I think if you're averaging close to 2 points a game, you'll go up. You'll have enough to get you possibly top 2. So yeah, I'll happily accept 9, and that's what I think we'll end up with.
Yeah. I mean, the average we're on at the moment, if you really want to talk averages now, 7 points from 4 games, we should end up with around 81 points, which is plenty enough for the playoffs. So,
yeah,
which is where I think we'll end up, and which I think we'll win. Now, I think 8. I think there'll be a game where we do get beat. Don't worry, I dare say who it will be. I think it'll be West Brom. Our record at the Hawthorns at times is absolutely horrendous. I know there's been a couple of games where we've nicked a win, we've got a win there by the odd goal, but yeah, our last 2 games there haven't been great, have they? Let's face it. Our recent record there, so and they've started okay, West Brom. I say they're always one of those teams that doesn't matter how they get on between in the middle part of the season, they're always there. They're always about the top 10. They're always kicking about the playoffs, and they're always a pain in the backside to try and get rid of. But yeah, I just feel 8 points. So we'll beat Preston or we'll beat Stoke. We'll draw at the Stadium of Light. We'll draw at Watford, and then we'll obviously lose against West Brom. But I think 8 points would be fine. They say 15 points after 9 games. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's winning at home is what you need to nail, isn't it? You've got to start winning at home, and then pick up points on the road. We look at the games we've played. We won at Cardiff. We should have won at Derby. I think everybody agrees to that, but because of one early mistake and that handed a goal to Derby, we didn't get back into it. They changed what they had planned to do, and they just denied us. We didn't have the ability on the day to break them down. But yeah, win the home games. Keep your fans happy at home, and then pick up points in the odd win on the road, and you'll be there or thereabouts.
Well, that's it. They're saying that's where the obvious sort of 2 points a game comes kind of in, doesn't it? You know, if you can average your wins at home and pick up your points, you know, here and there away from home, that's what it's all about in this league. You know, you've got to make sure your home form is there and it's consistent, and that's why I feel the 2 home games we've got in this little block of games are important, and they have to be wins for me. They have to be, just to keep that momentum going, keep us on the right path. Comment we just got in from Colin Friars. I mean, he's just put 2 in. Well, I'll ask you the second question. But he started with, "Now then, slapheads, how's it going?" I mean, I've got a head full of hair.
Well, it must be me then. I have got hair. Look, it's just grey, and this light doesn't show it very well. So yeah, I'll take slaphead. I've had worse.
I don't know if I can take that. I mean, I've got hair. You know what I mean? But he has come back in and said he is a regular contributor, Colin. He does pop up every week and helps us. What's your thoughts on giving Ben Doak his debut? I mean, we'll talk about Preston in a little bit, but, you know, we've said, haven't we, last week, Ben Doak looks a very exciting signing. And I watched a little bit of him play for Scotland, and he looks the real deal for me.
Yeah, I think I don't think he'll start. I think he's going to be managed fairly carefully. So I don't think we'll see him make his debut anytime soon. If I'm honest, I think we may see him make an appearance from the bench occasionally, but I don't think he's ready yet to start a game or be able to last 90 minutes just because of fitness levels, and he had a serious injury that he's come back from. So yeah, I mean, big name drop here. I was talking to Gibbo at the weekend, and he was he asked me if I'd watched the Scotland game, and I hadn't. I didn't watch it. I'll be honest with you. A few people had told me about it, but he said, watch the highlights. He said, because when Ben Doak's come on, he said he reminds me so much of Adama. He just said he's light and quick. He said, but he's got a better end product, which he still needs to develop. But he said he's got a better end product than Adama did. So, you know, we all remember how, as fans, we sort of got out of our seats when Adama got the ball. So if Ben Doak's is similar, if he's better, then, you know, he'll be one hell of a player for us. So to answer the question that Colin put, I don't think he'll start anytime soon, if I'm honest. Maybe we might see a couple of months before he gets a start. But then again, I might be totally wrong, and Carrick might throw him in. He's man of the match performances, and he scores 3. Who knows?
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. I mean, I'll name drop as well while I'm here. I'm not going to put a bigger name as well. You know what you just did. But I was just speaking to Craig Ignat before I came on. He was doing his show, filling in for Bernie Slaven. If people listen to Bernie on the Monday night, he was doing it tonight. He spoke about Ben Doak. Obviously, he's watched Ben quite a bit because he follows them doing Radio Merseyside, and he said he's a very exciting prospect. You know, lots of Liverpool fans were very shocked he left on loan. Some were like, yeah, it'll do him some good, which I think it will. But there was a lot saying he was supposed to be the step-in for players like Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, you know, that sort of outside player cutting in. And to have them accolades behind you, you know, a player, even just mentioning Mo Salah, you know, a player that's ripped up the Premier League for the last 6 seasons. I think that's something for Borough fans to be excited about, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And you know, if he can live up to all the speculation and positive press that he's been getting, then, you know, it's a massive asset for our team this season.
Oh, it could be huge. Could be huge. It's he wasn't the only one that came in.
What was it? Chris Jones said he could be a game changer. Well,
yes.
You know, that could be the case. That could be the case. He could be that spark that we need. Obviously, if he comes in, it means one person's going to have to drop out, and the player in a similar position to him at the moment is Isaiah Jones. But you know, we don't know what's going to happen. You hope that this inspires Jones to fight for his place. You know, so it can only help.
I hope so. I was just about to mention about Jones. I mean, you know, it can do one of two things to players, can't it? It can knock all the confidence out of them that someone's coming to potentially take their place, and you know you see them drop and never to be seen again. But I think, I mean, you pretty much answered it there. I feel this could be Jones's kick up the backside, and it really could put him into another gear, which I'll pat myself on the back if he does, because I said he'd be a player to watch this season. But I think he needs it as well. Do you remember a few years ago when George Friend was at left back and we had absolutely no one to replace him? If he was injured, that was us. That was us, you know, in trouble. Didn't really know what to do. No plan B. This reminds me of a similar situation, because if Jones is injured before, you know, the likes of Dork comes in, obviously Force is still injured, there's no one really behind him, is there, to really give him a push and a nudge to say, you've got to keep on your toes, otherwise you're going to lose your place.
Well, we saw last season, didn't we, when Jones was out after the Chelsea game?
Yeah.
He went off, didn't he? And you saw how much we missed him then. He's still a target for some fans, because I think he's a frustrating player at times, and some fans sort of give him a bit of grief for that. But his influence on the team when he plays, it's massive. And yeah, I'm hoping, like you, that the arrival of Ben Doak will give him that little bit of a push to you know, up his consistency of performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one player we didn't actually mention last week, which I think we should give a mention now, properly, is George Edmondson. I know we give a tiny mention to him, but obviously, you know, Craig was more talking about his trips to the loo on the motorway, and his 10-hour trip to Cardiff. By the way, if you haven't listened to that, listen back to last week's. Such a brilliant story. He probably had the worst transfer deadline day you could possibly imagine. But it's a good listen, and if you want to giggle after a bad day at work, then that's the one to go to. But George Edmondson signed late on. You know, there was rumours, you know, over the days previous that we're looking at someone like him to come in. You know, we're struggling in that position. Darrell Lenihan's still out, as far as I know. Dale Fry is done a runner, as far as I know. I don't know where Dale's gone. We needed someone to fill in, and what I've seen as well of what he's been saying is his start at the club. He looks as hungry as ever to get stuck in and fire us up the league.
Yeah, I mean, it was an important gap to fill, wasn't it? And you know, we were prepared to pay the loan fee. We took another wage on the club's account. But what do you do? Do you take a chance and hope that we can sort of muddle through until we get a fully fit Rav Vandenberg or fully fit Lenihan or fully fit Dale Fry, or even play Johnny Howson at the back? But you know, we didn't take that chance. I think that shows how serious we are this season. You know, we didn't take the chance of them getting back, any of them getting back quickly. So we went in for a centre half, ready-made centre half who can slot in. Now, depending on the fitness levels and the availability of the players I've just mentioned, I can see George Edmondson starting, not Ben Doak like Colin Asp, but I can see Edmondson starting against Preston.
Well, funny enough, you should mention that, because as we were talking about it, Colin put in any info on Rav Vandenberg on returning. If not, we'll put George Edmondson playing alongside Matt Clark and Ailing back at right back, and then you started talking about George as I was typing. That's because we knew you were going to ask. That's why. But I think that'd be probably the most popular way for us to go, wouldn't it? Put Luke back to right back, which is unfair on Dijksteel, I know, because he's not had a bad start of the season. Dijksteel's had a very good start of the season. Obviously, got his first goal at Leeds. He's slotted in nicely when needed, but you need players in their positions, don't you? And I think a bit of experience back out right back. Get George in alongside what do I call him, Baldini.
Baldini,
yeah, Baldini, and I think that's that problem kind of solved short term, isn't it?
Hopefully, yeah. Or hopefully we can plug the gap with Edmondson until we get the player who was our first choice in that position, Rob van den Berg, back to full fitness and match fitness, and get the Clark and van den Berg partnership working again.
Yeah, definitely. And that brings me on lovely to my next question, because if you ask 99% of...
Is this an interview or something? You're asking me questions all the time. What's going on?
Well, you haven't asked me any, so I'm just being a good host.
Go on then.
99% of people would put van den Berg and Clark as the two centre-backs to start every year. What would it take for that to be broken up? Take injury off the table, because that's cheating. We both know they like an injury too. What would it take to put George into that slot? Maybe Lenihan coming back in, maybe Dale Fry if he comes back out of Berwick Hills. What would it take for them two to be broken up? Is it going to take something drastic to make that happen?
Well, you could look at whether one of them picked up a red card at a 3-game ban or something like that, or a loss of form. That if one of them loses their form or they're a bit low on confidence and mistakes creep in, then the manager, I'm sure, will put his strongest pair in there. It's tough decisions that Michael Carrick has to make every game, and I don't think he'll continue with a player out of form, low on confidence. So that might be that might be one way, and like I said, suspension was another, to break the partnership up.
That's another cheat. Suspension. I mean, that's obvious. If you don't get a red card, then that's it, really. Out you go. But no, you're absolutely right. It's going to take some. I mean, the way Clark started the beginning of the season. I mean, Higgy was saying he started like a house on fire. He's been brilliant. The start of the season, one of our players of the season so far, without a doubt, alongside Aidan Morris. But yeah, it's going to take something, isn't it, for van den Berg and Clark to drop the ball and say, slot yourself in. I need to drop out for a couple of games. So yeah, it's going to be exciting for him to watch. To watch them develop and things to go. And like you said, Carrick's got some really big decisions coming now, hasn't he? He's got a lot of players to keep happy. We haven't got a cup game to slot in where you can take a few out and put a few in and say, "There's your start." I promised that I was going to give you, and I think. Does he start being a bit more strict on players? I know he was very lenient on some. If he had, 2-3 bad games, he'd given the benefit of the doubt and said, I'm sure it'll get it right next time. Is it a case of if you do have them 2 or 3 bad games, you could be really at risk of getting dropped now?
Well, with the strength and depth they have, yes, definitely. I think previously he may have had a look around and thought, well, at 75% Isaiah Jones, for example, is better than the other alternative that he was looking at. So, but now he's got an array of talent at his disposal. And that can only be good for us. So, yeah, we've got to make sure. He's got to make sure, rather, that he's fair. But it's about it's about results. It's not always about performance. It's about results. I mean, I'll argue black and blue with anybody that's the case. We would like both to go hand in hand, good performance and a win, but you've got to take results over performance, in my opinion. And his job is to get results, to enable us to get to where the chairman wants us to be in the Premier League. So yeah, he's got the tools at his disposal now. So he has to be ruthless at times and make the changes that he sees fit.
Absolutely. He's I'll say it, I'll completely agree with you there. It and I haven't said that in a while ever. But no, it's absolutely right. He's got to be ruthless this season. I feel like the pressure's on him a little bit now. There's no excuses. He's got everything he absolutely needs. And you make probably one of the best points you make. You make a lot of good points. But the biggest point there is a result. You're very welcome. It's a result-based business. You don't get promoted because you said, well, we had 42 games where we played lovely football. Cracking, well done. You got beaten half of them. It doesn't really matter, does it? I remember years ago when Guardiola was manager of Barcelona, I think they had 87% possession against someone like Valladolid or someone, and they got beat 1-0. Doesn't really matter. You could play all the lavish football and all the flicks and everything that goes with it. Put the ball in the back of the net. That's all you've got to do. It's quite a simple game when you really think about it. So that's all we need to do. And there will be times this season where we do put our performances, because we do like to play nice football. There is some football we play that is really good. That has to take a bit of a step back, and we have to get that performance in to get the 3 points. So, as Big Neil used to say, you got to die for them 3 points. So, that's what the players have got to do sometimes, and that's the way we've got to move forward. So, with that being said, then we'll move on to our first of the 5. Next game up, Preston. So before we start mentioning Preston, there's a little event behind the North Stand. I've already told Ignat and I told all his listeners, and I've told another podcast on Thursday night about I'm going to give you the plug now. What are you doing between 12 and 3 on Saturday afternoon?
Well, Middlesbrough Supporters Forum, of which 12 man are a part of, they're holding their food bank, the first food bank collection of the season at Saturday's game against Preston for Middlesbrough Food Bank. The van and volunteers will be there at 12 o'clock till 3 in its usual spot, which is at the back of the North Stand at the Riverside Stadium. And I would like everybody to spread the word, because obviously it plays a vital role for needy people in our community in the Teesside area. So I would ask everybody to spread the word, and if you are coming along to the match and you want to bring donations, you can come in your car. Just after 12, the stewards will let you come to your car, drop your food off, and then you can go park up, have your drinks before the match or whatever you tend to do, or you can make a monetary donation in the collection buckets that will be near the food bank van, near the club shop, and also around the fan zone. Like I said, every time we've done this, the response from Borough fans has been fantastic, and obviously away fans also come round, get involved if they've been alerted to it. We do let the away team know aware of what we're doing. So hopefully we'll see a few of the Preston fans come round and make donations. And also, I'd like to ask anybody listening, if your workplace wanted to start their own collection, then I'd be willing to drive in my car to your place of work on any time this week, on the afternoon, or on the following week. and take it down to the food bank depot. You know, the more we can get to help the food bank carry on their vital work, the better. So I hope to see lots of people there on Saturday. I'll have a chat with them. You can put your however amount of food or money that you can donate, and would be greatly appreciated. And I'll have a chat with you. So if you want to come down, have a chat, no problem.
There you go, and that also emphasises the other point we made right at the start. You know, if you do want to chat, you know, you can be as little as 50p. Doesn't really matter. Bring it along. I'm not saying that he takes donations for chats, by the way. I'm just saying, you know, just kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, get yourself down. 12 till 3. It's a fantastic cause. You know, the guys do an unbelievable job. The supporters forum, which we're very proud to be part of. Anything, any tins. It is just food this time, isn't it? Are you collecting clothes this time, or kids, or
it's just the food bank collection, yeah.
just the food?
It's not clothes or old kit.
There you go.
Yes, so yeah, hope to see as many people as possible on Saturday down there.
Absolutely, and just keep an eye out on our socials as well. We'll put a bit more of the word out as well, just to spread it around and get as many people there as possible. You know, it doesn't matter if it's just a daft tin of soup. You know, a labelless one. You know, live it up a little. See what the find is.
Yeah,
bring it down.
take potluck. Yeah, take
Exactly.
potluck when you're open that. Yeah,
Exactly. There you go. Bring it down. They'll happily take it off you. So yeah, had to give that a plug. But Preston on Saturday then, JD. New manager in charge. Paul Heckingbottom's just took the job. Didn't have the greatest time in their last game against Oxford. Yes, they did go 1-0 up, but they seemed to absolutely self-destruct within 20 minutes of the second half, and Oxford took the win 3-1. What kind of team are you expecting to see? I mean, we've been on the wrong end of Paul Heckingbottom teams, such, you know, Sheffield United gave us a good eye in Bramall Lane a couple of seasons ago. Wasn't very pleasant. You know, we've also beat Heckingbottom teams very comfortably. You know, what kind of team are you expecting? You know, what kind of style of play are you expecting Preston to bring?
well, like you said, Paul Heckingbottom, very experienced manager. I don't think the players at his disposal at Preston are anywhere near the quality of like the previous team that you mentioned there, Sheffield United. So I don't think we will come up against that sort of quality of opposition. We should have it in our capabilities to win this game comfortably. I expect him to play a very narrow, compact formation. And he's not going to be too direct. I think he's going to try and, a little bit like what we do at Middlesbrough, is play patiently. But obviously we've got to sort of like create the chances. They would love to come to Middlesbrough and go away with a point or God forbid 3. You know, so they're not going to open up for us. We have got to do that. And it will be difficult because I think he'll get men behind the ball. He'll be very compact. So it's an interesting game. But like we said at the beginning of the show, you know, that this is a 5-game burst now where we need to see us get points, not the level of performance, in my opinion, that we are capable of just yet, because I don't think that'll happen for a while until all our players are fully integrated and the season is a little bit further along the road. But we just need to pick up the points, and I'm hoping from Saturday, you know, we start the 5-game block with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll second that. You know, I mean, you know, we're not paying any disrespect to Preston, by the way, by saying you know the quality of that Sheffield United team for a few years ago, because they were top notch. They were really good, really difficult to play against. I think Preston are under. I suppose it's like a transition now. You know, they've lost a few players, you know, a few of their experienced players, brought some in, hasn't quite worked as of yet, but you know, away from home, they've been great this season. I know it's only a couple of games, but you know, losing against Oxford, losing at Swansea, losing at home to Sheffield United. Did beat the Mackhams at home though in the cup. You know, there's always a positive. But you know, and the only win they've got this season in the league was against Luton, who haven't started life at this level as well as they thought they would. But we just really have to get stuck in with it. Is this another one of those games where, you know, we have to show the authority if we're the home team, you know, this is, you know, we'll play the game how we want to play it, you know, come and take us on if you really want to, and just really take the game by the scruff of its neck.
Yeah, we've got to, we're the home team, we've got to take the initiative. We've got to try and control the game, and, you know, play the way we want to. But they've got 11 players, just like we have. They want to stop us doing what we do best. So it's always the case, you know, that one team has to negate the other somehow and then create their own chances. So, yeah, I mean, last year, was it 4-0? We beat them. It was their Gentry Day, and there was a big following from Preston.
Yep.
But we played well that day, thumped them 4-0. I would love to see that again. But like I said, to me, just get the 3 points. If we can get the 3 points and match it with a good performance, you know, a pleasing performance, I'll be more than happy. But I'll still be happy with just the 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those, get back into the swing of things, get 3 points. I mean, just before I do ask you for your prediction to get our charity bets, hopefully up and running for the season.
We were nearly there at Cardiff. We
were.
We got one scoreline right. We just missed. We missed Emmanuel Latielaf getting on the plane.
Yes, that's the only thing we did miss, and he missed it. Funny enough, he missed the flight as well. So, you know, it all works in swings and roundabouts. But we're nearly there. We are nearly there. We will get this right. But there's a couple of players that are going to be there on Saturday. Obviously, M.A. Reese, you know, we were linked with him for a long time under Chris Wilder. The left wing back, Jakobsen, I think it is. He was linked at times to be our new left back a couple of seasons ago. And then there's a guy in midfield who scored an absolute world of a free kick, Mr. Sam Greenwood. It wouldn't shock me one bit if he pulls another one out of the hat, because that just seems to be what happens when it gets to the Borough, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. But, you know, we know all about Sam Greenwood. We have to try to prevent the opportunity for him pinging one of those free kicks into the top corner. He scored one this season, didn't he, for them? I can't remember who it was against, but he scored one. So yeah, we've got to try and prevent the opportunity arising for him to do that. So
yeah, absolutely. And that left back, I've just absolutely made up. I don't know why I've said that, because Emmy Reese and Jakobsen is exactly the same player. But there was someone from Preston we were linked with. But they have got some good players. Preston, Brad Potts has just gone there from Luton as well. So
yeah, do you want me to make up a name so that we can be linked to
why
him?
not? Why not?
Yeah, Henry Watson.
Oh God,
Henry Watson, that young right back.
I remember years ago we were actually going to Cardiff away. Me and Josh actually messaged into Sky Sports and put it on Twitter and stuff and said, "Oh, we're linked with this player," and I think it was Graham Bailey popped in and said, "Borough are making a late move for this player. What's this place?" I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
It's up there with Aberdeen saying they were signing that Turkish player. That sells are on. Yeah. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fantastic.
Yes, but there was a left back from Preston that we were linked to. I just can't remember his name. I'm
Yeah.
actually pretty certain it was Jakobsen as well, but he might have moved on now. So anywho, we'll move on. And final thing we need to do, your prediction for Saturday.
2-0. 2-0 Middlesbrough. You want a goal scorer. I'm going to put Conway.
Tommy Conway. Okay. You think
Yeah.
he's starting to head a latte laugh on Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know. But I just have a feeling whether he starts or whether he comes on that he'll get one of the goals. So yeah, it won't be big odds that, to be honest. 2-0 win, 2-0 home win, and Tommy Conway. But that's what I'm sticking with.
Well, it's better than the grand total of 0 we've got so far, so I wouldn't worry too much.
It is, you're right. Yeah.
I'm going 3-1 Borough, and I fancy Matt Clark to score again.
Again. Man, I mean, not only is he doing his job perfectly at the back, he's been great this season. He's becoming a danger man in the box, isn't he? Our top scorer.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We would never have said that in a million years. 12 months ago.
No, not at all.
We just looked at each other and gone, yeah, we've had too much of that happy juice, unfortunately. But yes, that's where we are at the moment. Matt Clark is our top scorer. So, and long may it continue as well. It looks like we've got something in place with Leadbitter doing all the set pieces and stuff as well, which is really good. As soon as I said Leadbitter, you started smiling. As soon as I said it.
Yeah, I still have a crush on him. He was just a fantastic player for us. I loved his ability, but I also loved his attitude. His nastiness. I loved everything about him when he played football.
Yeah, absolutely. He was. He's proven to be filling in quite nicely on the bench at the moment. I know Graham Carrick came in as well, but he's doing a good job, Grant Leadbitter, and long may it continue. I'm enjoying watching him develop as a coach. He's fitted in nicely with Woody and the gang. So, couple of score predictions have just come in. Colin Fry at 3-1, same as me. He's gone for George Edmondson to get a goal. There you go.
Oh, well.
And Stuart Whittingham.
That would be a good odds bet.
Good point. You know what, Colin? Because you said it, I'm going to put that on as well. There you go. We'll get that on for you as well. And Stuart Whittingham said as well 3-1. 3-1 seems to be quite a popular scoreline. So yeah, I hope the bookies aren't listening because that means their odds will start sliding down, and I don't want that. But that's us just about done. Just before we do finish, your brother Mick has got in touch.
All right.
Say hello, Mick.
Oh, Mick, how are you doing?
He mentioned, obviously we had a chat right at the beginning, just about the young lad from Scotland United. He mentioned his grandson played for Winnie Banks under-8. They had a minute silence and things as well. And you could see by the young lads, they were all affected by it as well. So, all the teammates were there to comfort him and all the parents at the side of the pitch. It just showed, it shouldn't be happening at that age. So I'll finish by saying, if you do need a chat with anyone, my messages are always open. John's messages are always open. Us as a group are always open for a chat. Doesn't matter.
Also, if anybody finds that they're going to the matches on their own and they want a little bit of somebody to talk to at half time, before the game or afterwards, just get in touch. You don't have to. You can go on your own, but you don't have to be alone. You can come with us, be with others.
Exactly. If it is half time, you'll probably see me in my seat because I'm our balls walking back down them stairs and walk back up them. So yeah, come and have a chat with me. I'll have a chat with you. You say makes the 15 minutes go by. I'll probably have a 50 pence bet with you on which team will win the penalty shootout. Yeah. That's always a giggle.
Well, we're easy to find at the back of the north stand, just underneath the 12-man banner. It's there, you can see it from all parts of the ground. I know you can't walk from the south to the north, but I mean, if you're in the north, you can. Imagine that going to shoot. I'm just going to see that lad there underneath that banner. Don't think that'll be allowed. But yeah, I mean, if you are in the north, then just come and say hi and have a chat.
And that goes for people in the West Upper as well. I don't recommend coming down from there. Okay, because there's only one way down,
Yeah,
and I don't want you to do that. So
we'll get a zip slide from the West Upper into the North Stand.
that's an idea. Zip slide. There you go. See if the club will fund that for you. So yeah, and if also something we've been introducing as well. If you're in blocks 21, 23, 25, if you want a flag before the beginning of the game, give us a shout. We'll come by your seat. We'll drop you a flag.
Yeah,
Just add a bit of colour.
just return them at the end. Don't be pinching them. We're not made of money.
Yeah, that goes for you, Joey. We know what you're doing. And on that note, we'll say bye. Considering it was only me and you, we've done that quite well there. I think that's
Yeah,
it.
it's
55 minutes.
flown by. Yeah, talking rubbish for an hour there.
Yes, and me making up left backs just to make it sound credible. That'll get clipped everywhere now, won't it?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Watch out for Henry Watson.
Yes.
He's got a big future in the game.
Yes, and that striker for Aberdeen, he's starting to really show his strength now. So keep an eye on him as well. So right, yes, John Don, thank you very much for popping on. Always a pleasure to talk to you. No problem.
Cheers.
I'll see you on Saturday as usual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you haven't got a ticket, get yourself in block 23. There's not many seats left actually for Saturday in our block now. But quite a popular block now. So 21, 25, might as well get them blocks bouncing as well. North Stand seems to be livening up a little bit more as as the games go on. We're adding a bit more colour, a bit more noise. So yeah, get involved. It's always good to back the lads, and I'll let the big man say bye. And arrivederci and up the borough. Be seeing you.
All the best, boys. Up the borough.
Hello, it's Leo, and you are listening to the 12-Man Podcast.
On DA